Welcome to the Main Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Main Financial Group, as well as Adam Freund, CRC of Main Financial Group. To our viewers at home, we have a very special episode. Are you boaters out there? Well, we're going to be talking about how your retirement planning needs to be smooth sailing, even when you hit choppy waters, because we don't want your retirement to go down like the Titanic. So there we have a great episode for you today. Jordan, how are you today?
Oh, happy to be here. Wonderful. Feeling great.
So happy to have you in the studio because I know how busy you both are. And Adam, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. And I know that we are nearing the end of the golf season. I have to ask you, how is your golf game?
Fine. No,
Oh.
it's doing just fine. Really, the most important thing to me is that I get to play with my father every Saturday. Now, he's 85 years old, folks.
Wow.
And the Shermanator, like we call him, likes to go out and play golf, and a lot of times he likes to walk it. So
Oh my gosh.
at 85. And he's the one that taught me how to play golf. What about you, Jordan?
Absolutely. So, yeah, my dad taught me as well as a little youngster. And unfortunately, he passed away early, only at 67 years old. So it's great to see every Saturday.
Yep.
Sherm, his dad, and him, they go play golf, even if it's just 9 holes. And Sherm is our expert that we call for business advice, and we love him to death.
And I can't believe that he enjoys walking all 18 holes. It's challenging for me to walk 18 holes, so God bless him. That's amazing.
Who taught you how to play golf?
So I took lessons, actually. I wish I could say that my mom or my dad, but I took lessons because my husband loved to golf, and I'm like, okay, I have to learn just to be out there with him.
Yeah,
So
my wife's the same way. So, yeah.
I have fun with it. Yeah, I don't take it too seriously. Like I have Angry Bird balls, so it's just fun.
I love it.
Me too. Well, I think that everyone watching today is going to want to have a smooth sailing retirement. Even when those choppy seas start, we want to make sure that there's a retirement red zone, if you will. We're going to talk about how to avoid that, how to navigate through it, even when you have choppy seas in the retirement. Jordan, what is the retirement red zone?
Yeah, this is a great analogy that we use all the time for football as a team is driving down the field. When they get to the last 20-yard lines before the end zone, they call it the red zone. And a lot of times you'll see different players coming in and out. They have a goal line offense, a different defense, because there's less yardage to work with. Same thing happens in retirement. As you get within 10 years of retirement, we have to change strategies and fundamentals of what we're doing to get through that goal line. So we love that analogy, Cynthia, of we're in the red zone now, we're inside of 10 years. What do we need to do differently to get across that goal line and succeed for retirement?
Not only that, but people, there was a recent survey by the Longevity Project that said 54% of everybody going into that red zone want to live to age 100.
Okay.
But they're not willing to make the adjustments in how they spend money in retirement in order for them to get to that age of 100. Because if you think about it, I mean, if you're retiring at age 65, and nowadays people are retiring at age 70, that's another 30 years. My dad at 85, who we just mentioned a few minutes ago, goes into work every day.
He does.
He loves what he does, and when you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
That is very true.
He loves it.
That's true, and I think we use another analogy with the red zone of mountain climbing. So mountain climbing is like your actual financial life. So going up the mountain is your accumulation years. Your working dollars are coming into your portfolio. And as you get to the top of the mountain, you're nearing retirement. You have all these clouds of money, 401ks, IRAs, pension rollovers. And you have to get down the mountain, and that's distribution. And a true stat in all, I think it was a few years back the stat came out, it was 94% of all deaths in real mountain climbing incidents came on the way down.
Wow.
Because climbers were using the same fundamentals and principles as going up the mountain, going down. Same thing in retirement planning. We have to shift our strategies and our principles and fundamentals to safely get down the mountain.
Yeah, shifting basically from accumulation to distribution.
Yes.
Right? Shifting from getting a paycheck to creating a paycheck and a playcheck.
Absolutely.
It makes perfect sense because so often you hear about people that have worked so long with a certain advisor that was really specializing in the younger years, the accumulation phase. But when you get close to retirement, especially that red zone, it's very important to work with someone who's a seasoned person that's talking about the distribution years.
Absolutely. And every successful financial plan has 5 really key areas. You have to have an income plan, not an income guess, but an actual income plan. We've got to have an investment strategy that looks at overall the portfolio.
Yeah.
One of my favorite topics is you have to have a tax plan. As an accountant, as an investment advisor, how do we reduce or get rid of that taxation? You have to have a plan for your health.
Yes.
What if you retired under 65? What are you going to do for health insurance? When you get to Medicare, what are you going to select? There's supplemental plans, there's Advantage A, there's all these things. And then later in life, what about long-term care? Have you planned for that? And then the 5th thing is the estate plan. So 5 key areas to every successful financial plan.
And how often do you have people come in that have not any of the 5 areas covered that we just spoke of? Is that quite often?
All the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it becomes an issue. And I think one of the problems is I just don't think the general public understands there's that transition that you need to start before you hit retirement. You can't just come in the day you retire and say, okay, I'm retired. Do your magic.
And it's kind of like in the analogy of the red zone, getting the 20-yard line starts the red zone, getting all the way down to the 1-yard line, and then saying, oh, let's start planning for retirement. And so that's why the earlier you can begin to plan makes a tremendous difference of succeeding or not.
And is it true that 2/3 of Americans fear running out of money more than they fear death, Adam?
Yes. That was also done by that same recent survey. More people fear running out of money than they do dying, which is incredible to think, because I also know that more people fear public speaking than they do dying. So, I mean, we've got to basically allay those fears, get them to understand that there are ways to make sure that you do not run out of money.
We always talk about in the office, you know, what if we screw up and live too long? There are all kinds of things that come into that. Running out of income, as you said, is a big fear, but if we live too long, now we have long-term care issues, which I don't know if you've looked at those costs lately. Depending on geographically where you live in the country, ridiculously high.
They are.
So longevity, while it's nice to live to 100, there's a lot of planning that goes into it.
Yeah.
So how can you help alleviate some of these fears?
Absolutely. You have to start with a great written financial plan. And I think, as here, my associate here is holding up our main money report. This is our offer today. You can click on the QR code or call the number. 2 meetings out of your life, the first meeting to come in and talk about your goals, what you like, what you don't like about your current financial plan. Maybe you don't have a financial plan. We'll accumulate all that data, put together the main money report, which is a customized plan just for you, and a second meeting to review the results and see what track you're on.
Well, this is the perfect time for our first commercial break. Jordan and Adam, would you both agree?
Yes.
All right. To our viewers at home, I don't have Adam's hand here to help me, but this is the main money report. And if you're sitting in the viewing audience and you're asking yourself, do I have the proper plan for retirement? Am I working with someone who specializes in the distribution years? If the answer is no, this is the perfect opportunity for you to call in to have one of the main money reports designed for you. These are customized. That number again is 888-462-7839. If you don't have a pen handy, you can grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Main Financial Group's landing page, and you can schedule your time accordingly. Remember, this is completely complimentary. This is the perfect time for you to find out if you're on the right path for retirement or if you're in choppy seas. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back momentarily on the Main Money Show.
I was an accountant by trade out of school, out of Michigan State, and I absolutely hated brokers, financial advisors, whatever they wanted to call themselves. I was a tax accountant, and we would share a mutual client, and this broker would advise our mutual client to buy, sell, and never do any tax strategy, and I was left to clean up the mess. So I went to the client and said, please talk to your broker and tell him to knock this off or begin to do some strategy, and the typical broker response was, I'm not licensed to do that. I can't talk about taxes. So I basically decided to get my investment securities license and all my other licenses out of spite so that we could do all the tax planning as part of the investment strategy for our clients. The value of choice, as we always say, if you go to a big box firm, they're going to have one of 6 portfolios, let's say, and you're going to fit into one of those. The value of working with an independent advisor, especially a fiduciary like we are, is that they have to do what's in your best interest, and they can use any program that's licensed out there in America, so a huge difference. After 20 plus years on this side of the fence, I think our industry does a poor job at explaining to the public the difference of those two. I come from a culture of helping people and educating them, not just telling them what to do. So I think people that truly want to educate make a big difference in this industry.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Jordan Main, president of Maine Financial Group, as well as Adam Freund, CRC at Maine Financial Group. We're talking all about navigating your retirement, especially if you're getting into those choppy waters of that retirement red zone. So, gentlemen, as you know, I've been a consumer advocate for years now, and I've seen a lot of people torpedo their retirement. I'm trying to keep the boating theme going.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And I have a question about so much information right now, specifically that's on social media. It seems like people get a lot of advice from their friends or even from posts that they're seeing. How do you help decipher what is fact and what is noise in this world of social media that's at everyone's fingertips today?
You go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it has become more and more of a problem that people want to get rich quick scheme.
Yes.
And I know that there's a story out there that all of you have heard and read probably, and that's the tortoise and the hare. And who wins that every single time?
Yeah.
The hare? No, the tortoise wins it every single time. Slow and steady wins the race. The same thing with when we're dealing with social media. Actually, Jordan can kind of talk a little bit about what can happen if you look up things on the internet.
Yeah. So recently, I had a health scare and had to go to the emergency room.
Okay.
And maybe sometimes us men overreact when it comes to medical. No. It might be a stereotype or not. And I'm in the, I drove myself, I'm in the parking lot, and I'm on WebMD, right, which is a go-to online to get information. Yeah. And by the end of that session, in my mind, I'm dead. I'm a goner.
Yes.
I then had my will and my trust up and making sure that everything's going the right way to my wife and kids. And turns out I go in, and I'm in and out of there in a couple hours, and there was no major issue. And the physician's assistant came and said, listen, a lot of that stuff on WebMD is not produced by licensed doctors.
Oh.
It's opinions or miscellaneous information that is copied from other areas. Huh. And I use that analogy for this because right now a lot of financial advisors are on YouTube and TikTok and all these videos trying to get customers throughout the country. It is so important that you work with a licensed fiduciary investment advisor. Both Adam and I are licensed fiduciaries. So the misinformation online, you really right now, Cynthia, can take any topic you want and find articles for it and against it.
Right.
It's true.
It really goes without saying. I think there's a lot of bad stuff out there.
I do have to say, though, we are on YouTube.
We are, that's right.
But one of the things so I come also from the banking industry before I got into this, and this was even running around back then. There's a thing called the Iraqi dinar scam.
I've heard that.
Yes. And it is supposedly buying up all this Iraqi dinar, and that eventually you're going to be able to turn it into U.S. money, millions of dollars.
Yes.
We just had somebody come through not too long ago telling us the same scam. I hate to say that word, but that's exactly what it is.
It is.
And the funny thing is I looked it up before coming on today. So one dinar is equal to 0.00076 U.S. dollars.
Oh, my word.
You tell me when that is going to turn into $1 U.S., $2 U.S. please stay away from it. Stay
Yeah.
as far away from it as you possibly can. It really bothers us to nobody's business, because who are they trying to get? They're trying to get seniors.
Yes.
And while, my parents do social media and look at it, not everything. I mean, my mom gets phished all the time, where they send her an email and she thinks it's really from Amazon and she needs to click here, and it's unfortunate. And these are two well-educated people, but
Yes.
it's just the stage that we're in right now.
100%. And I have experience with someone who actually fell for that scam, working with another advisor, as you know, being a consumer advocate nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple come in and they were so insistent that they wanted to do that because they saw it online, that they were going to get rich and they were going to make all this money. They ended up losing everything, and there was nothing he could do to help after that took place. So you can't trust everything you see online. So Adam, wouldn't you say, believe nothing that you hear and only half of what you see?
Absolutely. I don't know who said that famously, but yes, that is exactly correct.
It's true, because people are falling for scams all the time, and you don't have time to make up mistakes, especially if you're in the retirement years, Jordan.
It is so crucial to not screw up and make a bad decision as you're in retirement, because the whole idea of retirement is you want to enjoy retirement, preserve your wealth, not make a bad choice, have an income plan, outpace inflation, and live your life. We talk about one of the biggest mistakes is that people want to die rich in retirement. Yeah. And last time I checked, when the hearse or wherever's going to the cemetery, they don't have a bunch of U-Hauls behind you with all of your things and your goods.
Right.
The idea of retirement planning is to make sure that you can live the life that you always wanted, but make sure you don't run out of money or make a poor choice with a scam online. But ultimately, a lot of people want to just live off the interest of their accounts and pass on things to their kids. So we look at it in terms of efficiency, live the life that you want in retirement, just make sure you don't run out of money.
Sure.
And please, if you come across a scam, call us, call the police. If you're not sure, you can even go into a bank. A lot of the banks around the Detroit area are very aware of these scams. And if it's too good to be true, it usually is.
That is very much the truth. And honestly, like we mentioned in the beginning of this segment, getting advice as well from friends who are misguided. How often, Jordan, do you have people come in that say, well, my brother said to do this, and so I did it, and then you look at the whole plan and it's an absolute disaster?
More than you would think. Probably 70, 80% of the time we'll have a new client that's come in that at one point in their life has made a financial decision based on usually a relative or a dear friend. And I always ask those questions. Does your dear friend or your relative have any investment licenses or any history in this business at all? Or are they just reading information online, and most of the time it's just, well, they're doing it, so I'm going to do it as well. And what was it when you were a kid? If someone jumped off the bridge, would you jump off?
I always said, well, how high is the bridge?
I can see you asking that question. Well, this is the perfect time for us to take our second commercial break. Would you both agree?
Yes.
All right. To our viewers at home, what we're talking about is the importance of being able to navigate through your retirement years. You don't want to run into choppy waters. You want smooth sailing. What you're being offered today is the Main Money Report. Now, this is not a book that you pick up in the office. What this is a customized plan to suit your retirement years, to suit your retirement needs. What are your hopes, your goals, and your dreams? And do you have a plan to properly get there, to navigate those waters of retirement? If not, this is the perfect time for you to call in, take advantage of this complimentary consultation, and have one of these beautiful Main Money Reports custom crafted for you, is what I'm trying to say. English version. That number to call is 888-462-7839. Or if you have your smartphone handy, go ahead, grab that. Click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Main Financial Group. You can book your complimentary consultation accordingly and have this beautiful customized Main Money Report crafted just for you. We're going to take a very short commercial break here on the Main Money Show. Don't go anywhere. I have so much more with Jordan and Adam when we return.
The culture at Main Financial Group is, I think, in one word, family. We really enjoy working with each other. And yes, at times it can be hectic and chaotic and things are going at 100 miles an hour. But it's all done with the main goal in mind, and that is to make sure that all of our clients are treated with respect, have plans in place, and essentially are as happy as they want to be.
In this business, I'm a believer, if you do right by the client, you'll be rewarded. I think we work hard and we're a family. We really are. It's organized chaos in our office. We work well together, but it's orchestrated chaos, and there's a lot of love in our office.
It's important to enjoy what you do. And so we're a family, and we'll bicker, but we ultimately love each other, and we work hard together.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Jordan Main. He is president of the Maine Financial Group, and Adam Freund, CRC of Maine Financial Group. We're talking all about the retirement years, navigating those choppy waters so you can go into smooth sailing. In this segment, gentlemen, I would love to just jump into a topic that everyone's talking about right now. Social Security. So many people are wondering what's happening with it. Will it still be there? Is it going away in 10, 20 years? Jordan, what are your thoughts on Social Security and all of the noise that's surrounding that right now?
Well, let's go back to the beginning of when it was created. So Social Security was founded in 1935.
Yep.
And at that point, they came up with a concept that said, what if we'll have 42 people putting in for every one pulling out?
Okay.
And that person can't start pulling money out till 62. And as a business proposition, if you just shape it like this and say, Cynthia, what if I came to you and said, we're going to start this new business, 42 people putting in for every one pulling out. They can't start till 62, but the life expectancy back then was only 64.
Wow.
What a profitable
64.
business.
Yeah,
By the way,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, but did you know, I know who the first person was that got the check. Yes. I wrote it down. I have a bad memory. It was Ida Mae Fuller in 1939.
Aww.
And I remember when I handed her that check, she was absolutely gobsmacked that she got a check from the Social Security Department. You know, me and
You
FDR.
look great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
How are you staying so young?
Well, I have a painting in my attic that keeps aging as I get
Oh, like the portrait of Dorian Gray.
There you go.
Remember
That's
that
right.
movie? That was a good one. See how we deviated.
Exactly. So let's look at the numbers today. So many baby boomers are now retiring. What do you think it is, Cynthia? It was 42 to 1 workers putting in for every one pulling out back in 1935. What do you think it is today?
12 to 1?
It's actually right around 3 to 1 and trending to 2 to 1.
No.
But that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is, what is the life expectancy today? Back then it was only 64. They say it's 82 to 84, but I don't know about you, Adam, but I've seen a lot of people make age 100.
My dad's 85. I don't know where there's wood around here, but I hope that continues to keep going.
Yes.
So we have some big issues. And what year does the government already said that?
The Social Security Administration just came out recently and said that by 2035, if Congress does nothing, which we know Congress doesn't like to do vast things. It's hard to get things through Congress. If they do nothing, the Social Security Administration has already said they're going to reduce your amount that you get. Doesn't matter if you're 1 month on it or you're 85 years old on it, by 18%.
Oh my gosh.
So we have to start planning now. In fact, we used to tell people, well, maybe it's better to wait because every year you wait, you gain what? About
8%?
About 8%.
Deferral rate, absolutely.
But if it's going to be running out or being reduced, there are arguments to be made, take it as soon as you can. Now, there's some stipulations to that, obviously.
Yeah, and every person's situation is different.
Right.
My situation, my wife is 7 years younger than me, and in her family, most people live to be 100. I think her grandmother died at 99.
Yep.
Okay.
On my side of the family, we don't have a lot of longevity. Most of the men pass away around 70. So the idea is, when should maybe our strategy for Social Security, when we're going to take it, might be different from everyone that's listening. So you really got to look at the individual genetics of your family, but then more importantly, the state of the government, and will they be able to deliver on that promise? Because last time I checked, all that money that we've paid in, all three of us, into Social Security isn't sitting in a big pile of money somewhere. It's been used and borrowed by the government for other things. So if you can just tell me, Cynthia, the exact date you're going to die and the state of the current
I'm going to
government.
WebMD.
Yeah, and we can answer that question easier. But I think Social Security is definitely a hot topic to discuss.
Absolutely, because how often do you have people come in and they think that that's going to be their main source of income, Adam? We only have a couple minutes left, but do you see that quite a bit?
Yeah, a lot, and they don't realize it takes more than that. Obviously, you can't survive on what Social Security is really getting you right now. You know, most people want to retire in a manner of which they become accustomed.
Yes.
They don't want to just, I'm retired, I can't take my vacation every year. Or they don't want to go to bed with one eye open going, well, how am I going to pay for that bill? So Social Security is an important part of that. I mean, obviously, even if in an 18% reduction, by the way, which is a Band-Aid, it's not a fix, it's a Band-Aid to try to prolong
Kick the can down the street.
Kick the can down the street, something that government loves to do. So it's important to come in and see people like us, fiduciaries, that can work out a plan to make sure you are going to survive any of this type of rocky waters.
Absolutely. Well, Jordan, only a minute and a half left of the show this week, but let's talk a little bit more in detail about the Maine Money Report. What do people expect when they call in and come in for this? Thank you, Adam. That's lovely how you display.
The Maine Money Report is a personalized written financial plan customized to you. It's only 2 meetings out of your life. The first meeting is to come in and, as I said earlier, to talk about your goals, your what you like and don't like about your current financial position, and then the second meeting is to review the report here. You know, every financial plan has 5 key elements to be successful, in our opinion. Adam, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
The first one is a designated income plan, not an income guess. Where is my income coming from? The second is an overall investment strategy. Not only income, what are we doing with the rest of the portfolio? The third is my favorite topic, the tax strategy. How do we reduce some of those taxes? The fourth, which we talked about earlier, is the health side of things.
Yes.
Have we accounted for all the different stages of retirement? And lastly, the estate plan. What happens when we're no longer here?
Jordan, thank you so much. Adam, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. Call in for that Maine Money Report designed just for you. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We look forward to seeing you back here 1 week from today on the Maine Money Show, once again, where Wall Street meets Main Street. Take care.